Emma.
Yes, Mel.
What do you call it when you can't find your vinyls and you're looking everywhere, but you notice that flowers are looking pretty, but it makes you angry because you can't find your music?
I don't know. What do you call it?
You call it Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Hello, and welcome to Talk This.
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
It's your, I don't know, like free association is basically a joke host, Madelyn.
I'm your sushi bowling chef? Sushi bowling host, Emma.
Chef.
Sushi bowling chef host, Emma.
And thanks for tuning into this week's show. This week, we're talking Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop and Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Big week for, subtitles.
I really like the jokes where you just give like a definition. Honestly.
Don't say that.
They ascend into sort of an absurdism,
I'm like, how can I prompt myself to say the words in the title? And that's it. It's very good. Yeah, that's they're my favorite kind of joke too, because they're in some ways the easiest and also in some ways the hardest and worst. Anyway, speaking of things that might be the worst entry in their series per the whole internet, Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop. We loved Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop.
So I think we had both 1 and 2.
Do you think we had both? We definitely had 1.
Because I remember doing the sushi, which is only in 2.
Okay.
I believe.
I would believe that we had both.
Yeah. But I also remember doing the
I remember dentist
takoyaki.
Clearly. I remember takoyaki clearly.
Yeah.
Looking at pictures of it, I remember doctor, I remembered accessory shop, the combo florist jeweler thing.
Yeah.
So there were memories, for sure.
I watched a video of gameplay, and I can't remember what store it was, but when you pick things up and there's just this sound design that goes, ah, while you're holding something, really unlocked some memories in me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that sound deep in my soul.
Good. That's as it should be. Yeah, so Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop, if you didn't have the pleasure of playing it, is a shop simulator minigame thing from Bandai, released in 2006 for the Nintendo DS, 2005 in Japan, and then the sequel, Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop 2, was released later in 2006.
Yeah. And then there was a 3 also.
Not in the States, I don't think.
No, 3 was in the States. That was the last one to release in the West until this year.
Wait, there's a new one?
Tamagotchi Plaza.
What?
Yeah.
For what?
For the Switch and Switch 2, I assume.
What? How did I not know about this? How did this not come up in my research?
I don't know. Tamagotchi Plaza's first game in the Tamagotchi series in 8 years, and the first released in the West in 18 years since Corner Shop 3.
Okay, but is Tamagotchi Plaza is it like Corner Shop, or is it like, okay.
It has a little bit more like walking around,
sure,
talking Animal Crossing-y vibes, but it is about like opening shops and doing little mini games in them.
So if you know Tamagotchi, probably what you think it's about is caring for your little creature and often it dying.
Yes, the little external little hardware, a little egg that could have a Tamagotchi in it, which we're saying wrong, by the way. When the Plaza was announced at a Nintendo Direct, the announcer said Tamagotchi, which is actually the correct pronunciation, but a lot of responses being like, what the frick is a Tamagotchi? What's this guy talking about?
Look, I understand what the Japanese underpinnings there must be.
It's, in case you're wondering, it's tamago, which is egg, hence the egg thing, with uochi, with watch.
Oh. Egg watch.
Yes.
Weird, dude.
So it'd be Tamagotchi.
I won't be pronouncing it that way.
I know, I probably won't either. But I do think Tamagotchi, especially now, does imply this sort of like gotcha, which it does not have.
Well, Tamagotchi Corner Shop, whatever, Connection, does have a like, or maybe just the second one is like, ooh, track which people came to your shop. So it does have a little bit of a gotcha element. But not
in terms of like customers.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
So just a little
yes,
bit.
a luck element, sure. But you're not putting money into it.
No, there's no money. And in fact, I read a few. Look, most of the. Okay. Let me explain this game to you. It's really a high concept.
Yeah.
You're a Tamagotchi and you run some shops. And not even like you run some shops like Restaurant Empire situation. You just play mini games in shops and you level them up a little bit. And that's it.
Yeah.
Very simple mini games. You like swirl the stylus. They're all stylus based.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
You want to rank your shop up until the princess comes to visit, and then she will turn it into like a royal shop. And that's when you've reached the upper echelon.
Fun and exciting. So that's the game. That's it. There's a bunch of different shops.
You can pick between 3 different Tamagotchi characters. You can have Mamechi, Memechi, or Kuchipachi. And each of them comes with like different starting shops because they have like their hometown. But I believe that you can unlock all shops eventually.
You can.
No matter which you choose as your partner.
That's right. So isn't that exciting and hard to understand? So yes, you clean people's teeth. You work in a lot of shops. Like, you should not be allowed to be like a dentist and a florist.
Yeah. Like,
that's a lot of specialized training that I don't believe that these little guys have.
Yeah.
But what do I know? And there's also, they have like a little home that you can customize a little bit.
Yes, and cosmetics, which is in 1 but is expanded in 2. You can put them in little outfits.
Which Emma loves.
I love a good little outfit. So
she
true.
does. You can also poke at them and they will say scary things.
Yeah.
I'm going to read an excerpt. I don't remember what article I pulled this from. I'm sorry. Here are some quotes that the Tamagotchi will say to you in Tamagotchi Corner Store Connection. That's not even what it is, too. I'm going to play with John today. I assume you put in your name.
Sure.
It hurts when I get poked. I know you're very gentle, John. To tell you the truth, I'm very mad right now. I want to get into a pudding bathtub.
That's the end? That's all of them?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
Does it always go in sequence like that?
I don't know. It was just pulled from an article.
Talk about the meta element, the player as a character,
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, what is your role in this situation?
I guess you're like their caretaker, in like just like you would if they were in their egg.
Are you sure I'm not like a recruiter? Like, how am I involved in their work?
I don't know.
It's an interesting question to consider.
Sure.
Philosophically, to be honest. Anyway, people don't love these games. People did not like reviewers were mean.
They're very kids games.
Yeah.
And I think especially around the time when these games came out, reviewers were not interested in that at all.
Yeah.
To be fair, Plaza, which just came out, also got pretty bad review scores.
Sure.
But it's selling great in Japan, apparently. So, do with that as you will. But it is essentially just like a bunch of little mini games that aren't terribly complex.
No, they're very repetitive.
Are pretty repetitive, yeah. But I mean, it was a DS game very much for kids that you weren't really supposed to like play through quickly.
No.
So there's that.
Yeah, all reviews are like, it's so monotonous, it's so repetitive. And I was like, I don't know. Don't kids love that?
I did. I remember
Yeah.
loving these games.
Me too. They were so fun.
So, jingle keys in front of me, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. But, I'm sure some of that also comes from, like, this is a little bit past, I think, the big Tamagotchi era. I don't mean to be, like, rolling my eyes at pronouncing the word correctly, by the way. I don't know.
It's fine. I think it's so socialized into the way that we pronounce it over here now that it's hard to be like Tamagotchi.
Yeah. It's taken on a life of its own, independent of language.
Yeah.
I got so distracted by I'm microaggressioning here that I don't remember what I was actually saying. Oh, I think we're a little bit past the, like, peak Tamagotchi era when these came out. But obviously those toys, I feel like, kind of penetrated beyond their intended audience.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that didn't help Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop reach its intended audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like Tamagotchi's due for a comeback. I feel like Gen Alpha could be into that.
Well, Plaza will be getting regular updates, apparently, at least until they get bored, I guess. But there will be more shops to unlock and more story to experience.
It's a little meta, isn't it, to say it's going to get updates until they get bored? Like, I feel like that's kind of the Tamagotchi experience, yeah?
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to take care of it until we forget and get bored, and then one day we're going to open it, and it's dead.
Yeah.
So, oops.
The original Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop apparently did get a 3D remake for the 3DS. But that, of course, was Japan only.
Boo.
Because they didn't think, I guess, that they released 3 over here and then we're like, I guess this isn't a good fit for the Western market.
Yeah, we're like, maybe the demand isn't there.
Which does still seem to be true with Plaza, because it does seem to be selling quite a bit better in Japan than it is anywhere else. So,
well, I suppose that's not surprising.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did see, like, the only sort of positive spin on these games that I saw were a few retrospective type things that were like, this harkens back to an earlier era of children's games.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, not harkens back. This is an earlier era of children's games. And, I do think, like, that is interesting to think about. It's, have children's games gotten so much more complex than this? Well, Fortnite is sort of a children's game, so maybe. But, like, on some level, no. But a game like this would be just loaded with microtransactions and ads and trash now, instead of just being kind of a boring $30 DS game.
Sure. Well, I mean, this isn't a Nintendo game, but kind of feels like one,
Yeah.
But even, like, Nintendo games that are, like, theoretically for kids are also trying to hit that, like, classic Pixar zone where the adults are having fun, too. I don't know. It just makes me wonder, like, what the audience statistics are on, like, console games right now.
Well, it's so interesting, too, right? Because presumably, one has to assume, I could be wrong about this, that parents are playing with children less than ever in the semi-modern era. Right?
I don't know.
This is made up. This is made up science for you here. But it wouldn't surprise me that children have less supervision of their media what am I trying to say? Their media consumption. Perhaps than ever. Maybe we're bouncing back from that a little bit in, like, certain circles. But it's interesting that we are, Pixar poisoned us, perhaps, into expecting that all kids' media should also be for adults. That said, would I absolutely play this game now? Yes.
I mean, it's also just like, whatever, my DS bias coming through. But it was such like a kid's console, right? And ultimately, like, yeah, the Switch is theoretically portable, but like,
Not
if
for
you're
a 5-year-old.
yeah, you're playing on your mobile phone or your parents' mobile phone. Like, that is the evolution of the DS to now is, and of course, everything on the mobile phone is predatory.
Right.
In some way. But yeah, so there's not even like, in terms of like real quote unquote games, which is not to say that mobile gaming isn't actually gaming, because I don't think that's true. I just think that it is inundated with a lot of free to play stuff that is maybe not the greatest model we've ever invented for video games.
There is more predatory trash and less oversight of that predatory trash than in any other marketplace.
Yeah. But in terms of like console stuff, there just isn't one that's like for casual gamers.
Yeah.
Really. I guess you could argue the Switch, the original Switch. I feel like the Switch 2 is too expensive. I mean, whatever. It sold a ton. But it still feels like it's not really a casual console.
Well, what would
anymore.
be the point of that now?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's the market for a casual console?
I don't know. Nobody's trying.
I know, but I'm just like, I mean, maybe I'm the reason that nobody's trying, because I'm like, why would I want that? Like, I feel like, though, I could be well, no, let's not go that far. But for instance, I am not someone who will ever be interested in the pro model of a console, right? Yeah. If for some reason I stumbled upon one, I wouldn't say no to it, right? I'm not opposed to it on principle. I'm just like, oh, there's no situation in which I'm, like, interested in upgrading to, like, an additional $200 for one more traced ray.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I could theoretically be someone who's like interested in a more casual console. But like, what would that even mean? Everything is cross-platform now. So you couldn't even, like, the idea that you would try to curate your game selection or like, I don't know, downgrade graphics so it could be cheaper or something like that. Like, that's just not, it doesn't feel like there could be a market for that.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. They're exclusives beyond the couple of Nintendo franchises are dead, I think. So yeah, if you made something like the DS, something portable like that, people aren't going to develop specifically for it, probably, unless it's something, and like even stuff that like, oh, I could carry this around, like the Playdate, like, is so niche. Actually, in its implications.
Do you think, though, if I invented my own Playdate and I paid, like, is there anyone I could pay to develop a killer app? This would not be casual anymore. But, like, if I could be like, Kojima.
Maybe, honestly.
Or, like, I mean, the next Elden Ring thing being a Switch exclusive is a huge coup, right?
That's true.
So, like, if I could get something like that, do you think I could, could I have a prestige console, is what I'm saying.
Put a Tamagotchi on it.
Yeah, if I could make a prestige Tamagotchi. Thank you for circling that back around to something that was relevant to what we were talking about, by the way. I've gotten so far afield. What am I even talking about?
I mean, the Tamagotchi egg is like a
Connection, which I have said the title wrong every single time I've said it.
The Tamagotchi egg is also something where I'm like, would this even like catch on at all? Like, having to get this like external hardware that you carry around.
No, I think the kids are more into physical stuff these days.
Are they? What is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Just based on vibes?
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, it would just be like, if you were doing that now, it'd be an app for the phone. It'd be that scary cat pet app.
I don't like the idea of a Tamagotchi app. I'm sure it exists.
It probably exists, yeah. But I mean, that's the same sort of thing of like, you're just not going to buy like an external hardware thing for casual play, because you carry one around all the time.
No, but you have to think about it as it's a pet.
I've got, I've got my horse girls, Madelyn. Why would I need a Tamagotchi?
Pet.
What is a horse girl? but a pet.
What are you even talking about?
You still don't know what Uma Musume is?
No!
Okay.
You keep saying this to me like, oh my god, Madeline. How do you not know what this is?
I'm just surprised. I saw a post on Blue Sky that was like, Bernie Sanders overheard me in the elevator talking about Uma Musume. So that's why I'm surprised.
Did he understand?
I don't know. But now it's in his head.
Yeah.
He's aware of the horse girls.
Good. Nice. Love that for Bernie. Hope that influences his policy.
But you know what I mean. I've got my little units that I raise. Right?
No, I don't know what you mean.
In any sort of gacha game, you get units and you raise them.
Yes. Sure. But I don't know. I think Tamagotchi, I think it could catch on. I think if you made it into enough of the kids yearn for Labubu.
You're right. We could make a little Labubu external
like a Labubu
hardware.
Gochi. Honestly, a Labubu Tamagotchi game would go crazy.
I don't really know what Labubu is. That's my blind spot. I'm sort of aware that it exists, but whatever it is, it's gone completely in one ear and out the other.
They're like doll things.
Yeah, I gathered that much, I think.
Okay, this is not a mashup at all. Well, it kind of is, in that it's bringing together something from the 90s with something from today. So in some ways, a Labubu Tamagotchi actually is a great mashup of these two games.
Heck yeah, we did it. It's over. We won't even talk about the other game.
Thanks for tuning in to another
Well, any last Tamagotchi thoughts before we move on?
I yearn for dentist minigames. Can we move on from fishing minigames to dentist minigames?
Dentist? No. I'm just going to say, no, we can't.
Why not?
Horrifying.
Didn't you love brushing your teeth and
Yeah, but I didn't really have to, like, look at... I don't know. I don't want to drill anybody's tooth in, like, photorealism like I do with fishing.
I guess that's true. I don't really want to see a photorealistic fish. So we're at an impasse, I believe.
Fish with teeth. How about that?
Oh, no, that's horrifying. What a bad idea. Okay, on that note, let's talk about Lost Records, Bloom and Rage.
Lost Records, Bloom and Rage is a 2024 to 2020. No, were they both
February
in 2020?
to April?
Well, that was February to April. Okay, so
they did
both
not actually
2025.
release it in 2024.
2025 two-part narrative adventure game from Don't Nod, who are most known for creating the Life is Strange series, but do not own that IP anymore. So Lost Records is kind of like an evolution and continuation of the Life is Strange vibes, but with a new world, a new cast of characters, a new way of doing things.
And a world that they're conceptualizing from the beginning is something that will have multiple stories.
Yes.
Taking place in it. Life is Strange is well known for its final choice, which made it essentially impossible for them to continue.
Well, even with this, they're not saying like, oh, we're going to return to these characters.
No, I know that.
And the two Life is Strange that they made were two entirely unrelated stories.
Yes.
Other than like small references here and there for what it's worth. So that is still in keeping with sort of what they've always done.
The creative director talked in some of these interviews about like, oh yeah, like that was kind of hard. Like we didn't really think we'd make another one. Yeah. So tricky.
So anyway, in Lost Records Bloom and Rage, you play as Swan Holloway, both as a 43-year-old returning to her hometown in Michigan, to have like a reuniting night with some of the friends that she had in her teenage years, and then playing as her as 16 when she bonded with these people in the first place. So it sort of switches back and forth between a first-person experience where she's 43, like visiting with these friends in a bar, reminiscing about things, and then in 1995, third person.
It's the rare middle-aged woman rep.
Yes.
Although, do we consider early 40s to be middle-aged anymore? Probably borderline. I mean, I consider myself to be approximately early 40s now, as the running joke goes. So let's hope not. Some of them are even moms. Not that this is a mom game.
Yeah. They talked in one interview, Jean-Luc Cano, who's a scriptwriter, talked in a Pocket Tactics interview, which, like, why are they getting interviewed by Pocket Tactics, but whatever, was saying that, like, they were thinking about how, like, you have, like, your two crises, right? Like, your teenage years are a big part of, like, upheaval, and then, of course, your midlife crisis, right?
Cool.
And so combining these two, like, emotionally turbulent periods of time, and, like, contrasting and comparing them and connecting them was something that they thought would be interesting.
God, nobody tell these people about Saturn Return or anything like that. They'll be like, excellent, we'll make a game in young and 30s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did think it was interesting that they really were like, oh, like, so many of these reviews were like, they're not making games about like, there's adults in this game. Don't Nod is growing up. But it does seem like so much, like, it's still mostly a game about teenagers.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, it hasn't seemed like they've framed it this way. In all the interviews I read, they were like, we still really think that, like, teenage times is, like, an interesting period. That's why so many stories are just about teenagers to begin with, because there's so many, like, changes and upheavals in life, and you are already emotionally heightened from going through puberty. And so it's like a period of change where things happen. So that's why a lot of stories are written there. And in all the interviews I've read, they're like, that's still, like, where we think that we have our expertise and where we're most sort of focused. But they also wanted to add something extra. And it does sound like the original concept, before they even had, like, characters or a plot, was like, we want to do one where there's, like, a past and present timeline where you're sort of influencing things on both sides.
Which is interesting. I mean, it's for a game that, you know, it's like choice-based, right? It's an interesting way to set things up.
There are, of course, the supernatural elements that Life is Strange also has, but in Life is Strange fashion, they are mostly sort of metaphorical, representative, thematically in tune with, like, just sort of normal growing up-ness. Or, you know, specific points in time, specific events, specific conflicts that they're going through. It's not, they never make, like, hard magic systems.
Yeah. It's vibey.
Yes.
Vibey fantasy sci-fi stitch.
Yes.
What are your feelings on the release this in 2 parts model? They talked a lot about how, like, they really wanted to give people time to, like, talk about the game and have fan theories and whatever. And I always, for a game that I am not involved in, that always feels a little silly to me. I'm like, how much of that could really be happening? But also, theoretically, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think that it fits with their model. And they do have enough of a, like, interested fan base of their stories that there is a lot of community discussion in between, at least among sort of their hardcore fan base.
Yeah.
So I think it's something, I mean, I don't know how well it did.
I think it did okay. The reviews for this were not, like, glowing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mostly, like, I saw a lot of people really liked Tape 1, and then did not like tape 2 as much.
It does lean more into the supernatural. And I don't know. As I was reading the synopsis, I was like, I don't know. Like, how do I feel about the supernatural part of this?
And that was I think the 2 common criticisms I saw was that the supernatural aspect did not feel super well integrated into what was happening, and that they weren't sure if it really needed multiple endings, or if that just like didn't really feel like it impacted very much.
Well, spoiler, it doesn't really have multiple endings. Like, there are different, in the smart way that everyone has figured out their choice-based games have to go now, for the purposes of continuing to make things in the world where your characters can come back. There are different things that happen that lead you to that point, but pretty much it ends in the same place no matter what.
Yeah, but I mean, again, they've said that they're not necessarily very interested right now in like a direct sequel, so they didn't have to do that if they didn't want to.
Right.
I mean, ultimately, that's just sort of their model. A lot of their games come down to like a final, like even the Bay or Bay ending of the original Life is Strange. Like all your choices up to that point don't matter. It's just what do you want your ending to be. Life is Strange 2 is a little more complicated because you're influencing your younger brother. So when you make a choice at the end, he might either agree or disagree with you based on what you've taught him. And that can lead to various endings.
Yeah.
With this, it just seems like the ending is the same, but there's a lot of variation on specifically what happens, both in the past timeline and in the present. Like the result is the same, but like in the present, it might be just Swan by herself. There might be one or the other of your other friends with you. And in the past, the result is the same, but the events leading to why it happens is different depending on choices that you've made.
Yeah. They also talked in a lot of interviews about the idea that, you know, despite the fact that this is a game that's about a group of 4, they felt very strongly that they did not want you to be controlling more than one person. Which I fully understand on the level of, like, that's a very difficult challenge to set for yourself in a game where, like, the choices that you're making are primarily impacting the relationships between the characters. Like, I don't really even know how you would do that. I mean, I guess I do. It just has to be so branching, and like the choices that you would have to be impacted by choices you had made earlier in ways that are weird. So, like, challenging. But they didn't really talk about it that way. They weren't like, this feels impossible. Instead, they talked about, and I feel like this is relevant to some of our, you know, protagonist side quest stuff from a few weeks ago, but how they really didn't want you to feel like disconnected from the characters, which was interesting, right? Because I wouldn't necessarily on the surface go like, ah, yes, this is a game where they want you to feel like you are the character that you're playing as. But that quote did sort of point me toward, oh, like, yeah, you probably are thinking about this as like, it's like a self-insert kind of, which was interesting.
Or if not self-insert, at least like self-reflective.
Sure.
Because Swan is a established character.
Sure, self-insert was too strong, but yeah.
But yes, self-reflection, and I do agree fundamentally, like at its base, not that you can't connect with characters when you're controlling multiple of them, even in a choice-based game, right? But that it does make you feel slightly more removed. I'm thinking about like Kentucky Route Zero, for example. It's not that I didn't connect with those characters when I played Kentucky Route Zero, but it does make me feel more directorial than like really in it. They also made a change in the dialogue system that they usually use in this, where it is much more timer dependent than the 2 Life is Strange games that they made. I do think they had some like timed choices, but how long you waited didn't really impact anything on the original Life is Strange, and there would frequently be choices where you could just like sit there as long as you want and decide what you wanted to do without any impact. In this, all your dialogue options have a timer, and if you wait too long, some of your choices might go away, but you might also gain additional choices. Sort of in the way, like, if you're having a conversation with someone and you think of something to say, but the person you're talking to, like, keeps talking before you decide to interject, and then the topic moves on, and, like, you can't say what you wanted to say anymore, right?
The joke has passed.
Yeah, or whatever insight you wanted to provide has passed.
Anecdote.
You would have to really rewind the conversation back to insert it. So trying to create that more sort of naturalistic style of talking in the way that you actually add to the conversation in that way. In that, I feel like that is also emphasizing, like, wanting you to be, like, in it, right? Rather than, like, directing.
Hot take. I know that kind of, conversation option style is very trendy in these games now. I don't know if I love it.
I think it depends on the game that you're doing.
That's fair. I understand what's being done with it. I just feel like in the way that I'd like, if I've chosen to play a game like this one and not like, I don't know, a game where I'm punching things, I'm maybe not trying to be like so real time about it.
Well, I guess it's just how much control you want to give to the player.
Yeah.
I guess. They cited...
No, this is not me saying this is bad. I'm just saying, for me personally,
sure.
I don't always vibe with this.
Sure. This, they cited Oxenfree as one. I mean, right. That's not, like, hip. That's, like, 10 years... That's, like, 10 years old. But the way that it was, like, very timing-based and, like, you could interrupt people or not, and that would have an impact. And I think that when considering the vibes that they want this group to have, right, like, that's probably the correct choice. Of keeping you in a character, but not making it feel like the other three are diminished.
Yeah.
Right? In a way that I feel like if every time Swan got to talk, the conversation just stopped.
Yeah.
Would maybe not suit what they were trying to do.
I get it. I understand the design choice. I understand what it's doing. I think it's a good thing. I just also personally am sort of like, I don't know. I'm chilling on my couch.
You gotta learn how to pause, Val.
Like, I looked at my phone for a minute.
You gotta learn how to pause the game.
Well, but like that's breaking up the flow in a way it doesn't want either.
You gotta learn how to cheat, Mal.
I don't wanna.
The other major gameplay part of this is Swan likes to film things. So she has a little, like, a 90s camcorder with her all the time. And you can choose, like, there will be spots in various areas where you can, like, collect different prompts of stuff that can be turned into, like, little montage videos. But also you can just sort of film whatever you want and make your montage video that way. But when you collect enough stuff that's, like, related to a particular theme, you can then, like, stitch it together, and Swan will have, like, narration over it. That's that might cute. Change a little bit depending on what order you put the clips in.
I'm surprised that more games don't have video recording features. That's coming, right?
Well, so something really interesting in one of these interviews, which was in CBR with Michelle Koch, who's the creative director, said, like, they're not sure about Switch 2. This was before Switch 2 was out. But they couldn't put it on Switch because of this video aspect thing. That it would not work with the system architecture in some way.
Weird.
Yeah, because something about saving the video, like, just wouldn't work on Switch. So I thought that was interesting of, like, I mean, the Switch is going to be very big. And, if you can't put your game on it ever, maybe that's a detractment from doing something like that.
It can be on my Prestige console.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, I was reading about it and I was like, oh, no brainer. Like, how cool would it be to be able to catch my little video clips, like, in the game?
I mean, I think it's just generally fun for these, you know, like they're choice based, so theoretically you have some expression there, but also just having like a fun little like way to personalize your experience that doesn't necessarily like impact the story in any large way, but and also like gives you something, I guess, more game like to do as well. Right. But in a fun, characterful way. And also you can hide some spooky stuff in it, right? Because of the supernatural stuff.
We love spooky.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play this one?
No.
No interest.
I never have really. I really want to try Life is Strange 2 again.
Mm-hmm.
At some point. It's not like high on my priority list, but it's somewhere on there. But I just have not clicked with these games in the way other people do, I think. So it was interesting to like read about it. It's been interesting to like watch people play it, but something about it just like it just doesn't. I don't need to cringe about being a teenager.
Emma's not nostalgic.
Not really. No.
Well, what mashup game would you play?
Oh man.
Labubu Tamagotchi.
I mean, there definitely is ask, like.
Do you think what's your review of Bloom and Rage as a teenage sort of punk band name? I think it's okay.
It feels like something that a bunch of teenagers who are only sort of into it would come up with.
On one hand, yes. On the other hand, most bands that become anything are a bunch of like the Beatles were a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, I know.
And that's a good band name.
Sure. Yeah, their song that's in the game is also just like very like these teens are just fooling around kind of song, you know.
Sure. It's no Freaky Friday.
It's no Freaky Friday. No, I'm not saying that teenagers can't come up with a good band name or make good music. I'm just saying that a lot of them don't. How's that?
That's fair. I'll take that. Okay, let's mash.
Sure. There's definitely like a supernatural story that is probably exists in multiple forms of like a group of teens discovering like a creature of some sort.
Sure.
You know? And having to like take care of it. Like E.T., but like edgy. Like
edgy E.T.
PG-13 E.T.
Okay. Interesting. I'm intrigued. Is there like what is the gameplay element of this?
You have to, you know, make choices, and some of the choices are related to how you treat this creature that you found.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's a little bit of element of like also you have to provide stuff for it to make sure that it stays sated or whatever.
I'm interested in this idea.
It's like I don't know if it would be like directly malicious, but a little bit more malicious than like a Tamagotchi, you know? To sort of bring in that sort of like
bold
unclear
of you to say Tamagotchi aren't malicious, but fair.
Because we didn't even talk about like the main supernatural element of like the abyss in this, which is like sort of malevolent, sort of benevolent, right? It's
just violent.
It's violent. Exactly. Of like this sort of in-between thing where it's very quite scary, but also can imbue you with power, right? Mm-hmm. And so you sort of just cast the abyss into like a weird little crocodile or bunny thing.
I could support this. Labubu.
You cast the abyss. You cast the Labubu into the abyss. Get it out of here.
Okay, I have a slightly unconventional suggestion.
Okay.
It's a life help app.
Okay.
So it's an app on my phone wherein I can input various names of friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I can give them little, like, me avatars. And the app will remind me to, like, send them a text or try, like the little we character dies if I don't get coffee with them every once in a while.
Holy crap.
Sorry, maybe that was too far. But, like, in a Tamagotchi style way, right? Like, I have to, it's a reminder to, like, be a good friend.
Okay. Interesting.
I think people would get into it for the low price of $1.99.
Can I, like, mark on their profile, like, no, actually, I'm mad at them right now. Don't send me
well,
reminders.
Then you kill 'em. You let them die.
It's like, Tamagotchi life, but real.
Yeah, and, like, you can connect it to your text messages, so it can go, hey, like, you forgot to reply to that text from a couple days ago, or they said their aunt was sick.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, interesting.
And you would give that app...
You're just taking, like, the connection part of...
No, I'm taking friendship.
Yeah, like, that's what I mean by connection.
Oh, I thought you meant connection, like Tamagotchi Connection.
Oh, no. Connection without the X in it.
What X?
Isn't it the Tamagotchi Connection spelled with an X?
I didn't notice that, but maybe my brain just connected it, like, corrected it the whole time. Connected it the whole time. Freudian slip.
And then if you don't do it for long enough, it eats you.
Well, actually, if you don't do it for long enough, you've connected it, you've given it full access to your texts, right? So who knows what it would do.
Great. Cool.
Yeah.
I think we should there's no AI in this.
It's not an AI.
It will not choose to send AI-generated text messages to your friends.
It's just if the friend dies, it sends the friend a picture of the dead we, being like, this friendship doesn't mean anything.
Wow.
I think we get some good press out of it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yours is good too, but
I do. As you were talking about that and thinking about my suggestion too, I feel like the one Labubu thing I've seen is the one video where they strap the Labubu to a rocket and then it shoots back towards where everybody is hiding behind the cars instead of going up.
I haven't seen that.
It's like, go, my Labubu, and then it, like, shoots up a little bit and then immediately laser targets onto the humans.
Labubu rocket. The Labubu rocket fireworks surprise reaction.
Yeah.
It's 14 seconds long. I'm gonna watch it while I do the outro. Listeners, do you feel like a Labubu on... Oh, that can't be real. That was amazing.
Yeah. It's like beautiful, but also malevolent, right?
Yeah. Listeners, thanks for tuning into another episode of Talk This.
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
Do you feel like a Labubu on a rocket? Would you buy a little Tamagotchi egg? Of course you would. Of course you would. Have you been pronouncing it Tamagotchi the whole time? Are you also sort of annoyed when games make you have conversations like you're having actual conversations and not like it's a game where, like, sometimes you're eating some Chex Mix you've got on your fingers or whatever, little fingies. You're not holding the controller while the character is talking to you? It's never happened to me. If you have thoughts about this or the Abyss or anything else that we talked about on this episode, hit us up on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Talk This Podcast. You can also visit our website, www.talkthispodcast.com, where you can read all about the show, check out the games in the hat, and read our blog. But most importantly, if you enjoy the show, you ought to subscribe. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, Pandora Podcasts online and on the app, Overcast, Pocket Casts, wherever you can find podcasts. Go ahead and subscribe to Talk This. Next week, it's Emma's side quest.
Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about yet.
Cool. But the following week, what are we talking about?
In 2 weeks for our old game, we'll be talking about Rocket League.
Like Labubu.
What?
You said Rocket League?
Yeah. There's
Like a rocket.
Labubu and Oh, yeah, like the Labubu that's strapped to a
talked
rocket.
about Rocket League before? Really? Rocket League is
Rocket
10
League
years old?
only
Really?
just turned 10 years old.
Crazy, dude. Okay, what's new?
And for our new game, we'll be talking about Duck Detective.
Great.
So
The Duck
for
Detective on the case when Labubu. I'm gonna watch that video like 5 more times.
so our mashup will be Pixar's Cars.
Lightning
think.
McQueen.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. Emma, blast off.
This week I hope that your malevolent creature pet is kind to you.